video, I want to talk to you about the use of ClassNotebook. So as I said in a previous video, ClassNotebook really is kind of the three-ring binder of 2020 or the 21st century. It's kind of the ultra cool trapper keeper, if you were from the 80s, sort of a way to organize all of your material from a class. So what I like to do when I start demonstrating ClassNotebook is to talk to people about it like a three-ring binder because they understand a little bit better about what the possibilities are with it. So again, this could be used for handing out individual worksheets that you want students to fill out and place into a binder, and then you can pick up later. Or it could be a place for them to write down notes on loose leaf paper and keep them in there. It could be a place for you just to simply give handouts and for them to hold on to. So there's lots of ways you can organize this sort of information. But what's cool is it's basically you having digital access to that three-ring binder at all times. That way you can pick up material whenever you want to, or you can distribute it as you need to as well. So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here, and I'm going to create a new binder on a test team that I have, just to show you what that looks like. So you'll see up at the top of my team, I've gone ahead and I've clicked on ClassNotebook. And under ClassNotebook, there will be this little warning, basically, that I don't have a ClassNotebook set up. So I can go ahead and click on that. I'm going to go from a blank notebook, meaning I don't want to import a notebook from another class where I've already put handouts and other things in there. I'm starting from scratch. So we'll click blank notebook. It'll give you information on what the students can see, not see, what they can see and not edit, what they can't see at all. Right, and so all this information is here for you. You'll hit next. Now you want to tell OneNote what you would like to have as far as sections in each student's binder. So this is as if you were taking their three-ring binder and you had tabs and you were creating tabs for them. So some of these tabs that they give you as suggestions, they just throw some in here randomly, may not be helpful to you, like quizzes. I do those in Canvas. Or homework. That doesn't make sense for the way I've set up my class, right? But maybe a journals tab absolutely would, right? So I can have that as a tab in their notebook. So we have handouts that I might give out, class notes, a space for them to just create pages and take notes during class, and then journals, because I want them to journal in here, and I'm going to give them journal prompts. Then I'll click Create, and it will generate a notebook for us. Now, I don't have any students in this test team, so I'm going to go ahead and move you into another test team where I did add students, and they were working with me to kind of create these videos for you. And so let me go ahead and jump to that team, and then let me jump to ClassNotebook. Okay, so it's just telling me welcome to ClassNotebook. I'll go ahead and open this up, and you'll see I have these 4 students right here, and I set up their notebook the exact same way I just did the other one. I have a tab in Rachel's notebook for handouts, class notes, and journals. Now, if she were taking class notes, she could open this up right here, click Add a Page, and she could say, like, Monday, September the 30th. I don't know if Monday is September 30th, but if she wants to do that, or she could do it by topic, right? So we're talking about, I don't know, chapter 1 of whatever book we're reading. Dracula. It's epistolary, so I don't know if it's chapters. But, you know, I'm also British literature earlier than this. So that could be how they can organize it. They can organize it any way they'd like to. Now, let's say for journal prompts, though, I've created some prompts that I'd like them to answer. And so I want to get those prompts to them. And I don't want to have to copy and paste it into each individual student's journal section. There's got to be an easier way. And there is an easier way, right? So what I've done is in the teacher only section, I've created a tab for myself by using the section tool down here called journal prompts. So here's a journal I've created. We just read Medea, and we can talk about retellings, right? Ways that stories have been retold, at least by theme, over and over again. So I have a little prompt. I have a little video here from an Adele song. I just copy and pasted the YouTube link, and it turned it into an embedded video automatically for you, so it's very, very nice. I could put other pictures, GIFs, links. It really kind of makes this a little bit more multimodal in the way that you can provide information to them and they can also respond. And so I have all this information about the prompts down here, and then I have my answers. So I've created all of this for them. Now, I'm ready to put this in each of their journals. So how do I do that? I'm going to go ahead and click on Class Notebook, okay, and then I'm going to click on Distribute a Page. Now, sometimes that Class Notebook button, you may not see it, and it has to do with the size of your screen. Sometimes if it feels like it's too small, it'll cut down on because it's trying to save space. If you ever don't see that Class Notebook, you can always click on Open in Browser, and it will open up your web browser, and it will open OneNote online, and you'll have all the tools for it. So if you ever run into a problem, you can always do that. But I have it right here because I have a pretty large computer screen, and I'm going to click Distribute Page, right? And so I want to distribute the page, and I'm distributing it to the entire class. So I'm going to click on Distribute Page. I'm not doing it just like to one student or something. I'm going to tell it what section I want it to go into their binders. This is why you have to set up the sections at the beginning, is so that every student has their own or the same sections, is because you are able to then add material to it. And so I want to add it to the journal section of everyone's binder. I'm going to click Distribute, and it's going to give me a little progress bar letting me know how it's doing and in what percentage completion it's at. Once it reaches 100% completion, give it a little moment because everyone is online. But you should be able to then come back over here into the individual student. Let's say Adam. I'm going to click on his journals, and there is the page that I've distributed to him, right? And so he can write his little response down here, his answer. I will be the only person who is able to see it. The other students cannot see these students' 3-ring binders. This is for them only and you. So I'm able to then pick up the notebooks pretty easily, right, and see them. You can also lock and manage the notebooks, so you can lock certain pages if it's due at a certain time and you don't want them altering it after the journal is due or something. You can lock those pages so they can't alter them after a certain period. But this is what I have found is just a great way to create journal prompts in a way that's very immersive, a way that feels very intuitive to them. Some of the other sort of options you have within LMS systems feel really clumsy. And this just feels really natural. The other nice thing is that this also works on the Microsoft OneNote app. So I had a lot of students when we were kind of crammed into a smaller classroom, and a lot of them were sitting in these really kind of funky desks. Then what we ended up doing is they were taking notes from their phone. And so they got the OneNote app, and I knew they were taking notes because I could see the notes populating in their class notes section of their notebook. And so every day they were taking notes on that. And sometimes they would take pictures with their phone of a slide I had up, and then they would paste it into the notes section. So then like their notes that they took plus the pictures were all together, all in one place. And so that was helpful for them. And again, it makes it opportunistic for them to be able to use the tools that they do have to complete the work that we're asking them to do. So if you do have any questions about using OneNote or ClassNotebook, which it's the same thing, ClassNotebook is just the education term for it, I'd be happy to give you as much information as I can on it. I can also point you to some other great resources that Microsoft has done, including the ability to link together your Canvas course and your OneNote. So there is the ability to combine together those two and link them so that if you grade something in ClassNotebook, it pushes that grade back to your Canvas gradebook, which is fantastic, right? So because we like having everything centralized into one place. So here's just an option for you. Again, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you.